All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check out its local search and its city search, see if either of them or both of them or any of them got BSS. So we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, which is full spectrum intent capture. More info on that, pinned video, whatever, pinned post, pinned profile, somewhere out there. And that is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. Those rising are missing some, or those rising are successfully getting all different types of people with different intent all along our intent ladder here into their business, or to know about their business at least. And those falling are, missing out on getting some cohort of these people throughout our intent ladder here. Now, the highest intent people over on the left, BSS, that's what we focus on here. If we're missing those, probably because of BSS. The lowest intent people, but the largest volume of people over on the right, that's our other brand. That's where we talk about BLCS. It's our Boudoir Facebook Ad Doctor brand. That's where we're working with Boudoir Facebook advertisers running more than 10 grand a month in Boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, we're focusing on social search, Google search, people looking for boudoir photo shoots. The highest intent people closest to the money. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper, which means we're effectively invisible because the approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to hit this approximately 80% cohort. We want to get as many of them as possible, highest chance they click on us. And that means we got to be on page 1. Page 2, we're invisible. Page 1, we got a shot. But even 1 slot on page 1 is not enough because there's 10 slots, 9 other competing boudoir photographers. Everyone's got 1 slot. We look the same as everyone else. And when we look the same as everyone else, well, we get price shopped. They go down the Google search, they literally open up every single link, contact everyone, get a quote from everyone. So we got to show up more. So that lowers the chance of them price shopping us or even knowing other competitors even exist. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's not normal to have that few. That's a tiny number of slots on page 1. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. First one, market saturation, basically everyone knows about. Second one, basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, more peeps, seems like every week, get a new iPhone, get a new, basically new iPhone, turn up their Google My Business profile, got their website, saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. And, someone gets a new camera, they're posting in the mom groups that they also do boudoir photo shoots. So it's market saturation. More sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. But this is not really the killer. The actually killer, the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses I've seen, is the false belief of page 1 equality. It's where everyone, accepts, thinks it's normal that, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 or 1 slots on page 1. And, maybe if you added 1 slot on page 1, you get kicked off to page 2. That's normal. That's how it is. And yeah, you kind of just got to take your 1 slot wherever it lands. That is 100% incorrect. And this like an implicit belief, people aren't actually thinking about this and saying, do I agree with this, yes or no? It's kind of implicit, people agree on it because there's never been a word for it, for people to agree or disagree or say it's true or false. Now, I know this is false because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google in 10 days. So I already know page 1 equality, that's false. That's not even real. What actually is real is Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the work to take. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because look, if we're being pushed off to page 2 and deeper, where we already know approximately 20% of people go, then, I mean, we disappear, and eventually our business, if we stay there, our business is going to disappear eventually as well. So it's kind of the canary in the coal mine. And if we only got one slot on page one, we're like the same as everyone else. We're disappearing as well. So we got our kind of before stay here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. So now here we go. We got a solution. BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka our proprietary S-cubed methodology. And we've been working on this for about 7 months. Finally bringing it to market. This is exactly what I used to, again, go from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 slots, page one on Google in 10 days. And what's magical about this is it's the only thing I've seen that is able to successfully outcompete market saturation. So basically, if we use S-cubed methodology, let's say saturated social search, where the first 300 search results for a high intent keyword for someone looking for a boudoir photo shoot is us and only us. And it's same across all the social networks, no matter where they search. Those are all the same as Google as well. That's what the first 30 pages is all us. 10 organic search results per page, 30 pages of search results to consume our 300 kind of positions. Now, if we're in whatever Phoenix, Arizona, we got a million boudoir photographers total competing in that market. Everyone's got a website. Everyone's trying to rank on page one. But we've done enough S-cubed methodology to, get those first 300 slots of organic search everywhere, social and, search engine search. Who are boudoir photography buyers gonna see when they search? They're basically only gonna see us. So whose business is going to be growing? Basically only ours. They would have to go to page 31 on Google search to find anyone else. So, and that's if there are a million boudoir photographers, if we do S-cubed methodology enough. So, and if there are a million in our city. So again, S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows us to successfully outcompete market saturation. And I got to show my results in it a little bit. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. So we no longer look like everyone else with either 0 or 1 slot. And hopefully we hit our GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots is what we want to hit. Now, an extra bonus of doing S-cubed methodology is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making this invisible. It's the same, kick them off page one for social search, all the social networks, as well as Google. And we know on Google that approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page two. So for the bulk of the searchers, the potential buyers, the more slots we take of a page one, the more they never even see or know about our competitors existing when scrolling through Google search to see, who to click on and, whose website to fill out and contact. And that's what we care about, the 80%, approximately 80%, the bulk that's never going to page two. We want to capture as many of them as possible. So every page one link we get is a less boudoir photographer we're being compared against or, price shopped against. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So that's when we get 2 or more, hopefully, GBC minimum 3 or more, 3 out of 10 or more slots where we're actually being seen. We're not one slot like everyone else, looking like everyone else. People don't even notice us. I mean, they'll click on us, but we really don't capture their attention. 2, there's probably one other person that's got 2 slots anyways. We really got to hit 3 of the GBC minimum, 3 out of 10 to get this, have this strong boudoir search visibility. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our micro universe here. So a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is solved by is caused by market saturation and page one equality, which was the false belief of page one equality. Now we know it's false. Now we also have a solution that can solve it, our S-cubed methodology, where we achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So my results using this S-cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. AO overview, didn't hit that yet. But now we go down to organic search below the Google Map Pack. We got page one, or organic slot one, IG, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. Slot 10, me. So literally, dude, this took 10 days. 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days for this keyword. And if someone's searching this, who are they going to? You think they're going to the person in slot 9, or you think they're going to click on one of mine or all of mine and see it's all me over and over and over and over and over again, and kind of just say, wow, Google keeps recommending this guy. I should probably go with this guy, even if there are other competitors. It's the sheer volume of how much they're seeing us. Be like, why is Google recommending this person so much? There must be some reason. They must be good. They must be the best in the universe. And so this result I've gotten it for myself, kind of increasing this method over the last 7 months. Now, main event here, main course, main feast. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for its local search, Louisville, North Carolina, or its city, kind of close to city search. All right, so first the local search, Louisville, North Carolina. And let's see, go down the organic slot. So they got one. They got, man, this actually looks a lot different than I'm used to. We got two, we got three, we got four, we got five. All right, awesome. So 5 out of 10. Great. So we do not have BSS for the local search, and we are hitting the GBC recommended minimum of at least 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google. So awesome for that. Now we'll go to the city search, kind of the closest city nearby I could find. Let's see. All right, we got one. And all right, looks like that's it. That's it. We got one. So we got local search, did awesome. City search, we got 1 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. So we do have BSS, boudoir search sameness. And we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you have seen you've had BSS for at least one of them. So, you're at 0 or 1 slots, page one Google search for, those terms, or at least one of those terms. Or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search for any of the local or city searches, any of those keyword highest intent with buyer keyword searches. And you've accepted the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. So you're seeing, hey, I can actually take as many page one slots on Google search as I want for as many keywords as I want. And I don't have to sit around and wait and hope Google, people leave the market and Google is nice enough to put me on page one. And you're seeing that S-cubed methodology is the only way to get you there, actually get you those extra slots, page one in Google. And you're liking the initial benefits, more slots, page one in Google. You really like the second initial benefit, which is basically kicking your competitors off. You're basically getting to decide who becomes a disappearing boudoir photographer and whose business boudoir photography business starts to disappear by dominating page one Google search. You also understand market saturation, and you are, people eventually get more gear, the market becomes more saturated, and as a result, you are looking ahead, saying, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now. AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs into the future as AI gets better and better. And you're like, man, I don't simply need these links on Google, page one Google. I actually have to fortify my page one position. So no current boudoir photographers in my area can ever rank page one. And also no future boudoir photographers that come from AI taking their jobs can ever rank page one. Basically, like I need to have so many links of my links Google wants to rank on page one that they're actually backstacking me to page 2, 3, and 4. And you're actually deciding that the best way to get all these links, again, S-cubed methodology, get all these backstack of links on all these future pages, and really actually fortify your position, kind of like the levees in Nolens, Louisiana. It's kind of fortifying the walls against the ocean because the city is below water. So you're seeing SQ methodology is the only solution for that. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, have boudoir search visibility because you know you need these things on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also liking the future benefits of SQ methodology, or basically you understand that as we execute SQ methodology successfully every single day, we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns that are like plugged into your kind of like your cluster, your brand name, your business name, your social handles names, kind of like plug in these invisible thematic keyword columns in. And every day we build that up, we're increasing the probability that you are the one recommended up here, the AI overview and search, because you're just building up so much authority, repetition, relevance, age, with all these different keywords, the size, intent, boudoir buyer keywords. And so you actually want, you want that increased probability percentage every day of being recommended here because it also comes with increased probability of being recommended through all the AI searches, all the AI search apps. We're building up this like massive backend AI keyword search momentum. It's invisible, but every day it builds and builds and builds. And so that's ChatGPT, that is Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. These are getting more and more popular every single day, increasing search volume every single day, with Google standard search, basically decreasing every single day. And last time I did boudoir photographer search in a city, I used ChatGPT, returned me 3. I actually did a manual search with Google and Facebook, and dude, I found like 60. So it's like, man, we gotta, we gotta find any way possible to get AI search to recommend us, and you realize an SQ methodology is the best way to get these invisible thematic keyword columns built around your brand, your business, your names, all that. You're also like the future benefit of, kind of building your large, well-known brand in your area, making it harder for market saturation to ever affect you approximately 8x faster, utilizing SQ methodology. And you also understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer for your city. So you actually you get all these benefits, kicking your competitors off page one, and your competitors actually not being able to use these benefits, and you actually build up a large, massive gap in front of them, ahead of them, with these invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of this keyword backend AI keyword mindshare momentum that you'll be able to achieve and not your competitors. And that's the reason you decide to be a first mover, adopting this technology, because you understand the converse. If your competitor is the first mover instead, then what actually happens is, they're getting all their links to page one, they're kicking you off page two, off page one, onto page two, maybe on page three, and fortifying their position so you can basically never get on page one again. Taking all the slots, turn up social search, so you're basically become unfindable. And then we're actually, building up that massive gap AI backend keyword mindshare way ahead of you, maybe to big enough where you can never even catch up. And what actually happens is, for you to compete, you would actually have to rederive SQ methodology, or actually derive it yourself for the first time. You'd never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And then you'd have to equal our execution every single day. And then if you did that, you'd simply be maintaining the gap me and your competitor have already built up against you, because we'd still be executing it every day. So in order to close that gap, you'd have to out execute us, 2 or 3x every single day to begin pulling it back to back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum from me and your competitor back towards yourself. But again, you wouldn't have 100% confidence even putting in the time to do that, because you would never actually know if you've derived this technology correctly in the first place. And you're saying dude, who would even have 80 hours per day to do all this anyways? So you decide, screw that. You've decided you're going to be the first mover of your city. You decide you don't want to miss out on this. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But if you want, but when we do open, no, even if you want to contact us, you cannot. Even if you want to work with us right now, you cannot. But when we do open the hospital for new patient intake, it will be announced. Shoot us a DM then, and then we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.